I'm not in anything with anyone, and I'm not committed to anybody. No one's claiming me, and I'm not claiming them. So time goes on. Maybe that was a '09, some shit like that. 2 years pass. Like we bump back into each other. We get cool. I'm on the south side now. I don't move. Trap closed. I'm on the south side now. So a lot of people didn't like coming to the south side. That was just like, too far of a drive if you lived on the north. So this one particular evening, I get a phone call. My number was still the same though. I get a phone call. It's her. I didn't know the number. She was like, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm at my house." And she said, "Where your house at?" And I told her I moved to the south side. So she got my address, came through with her and her brother. From the mind, we ain't messed around, but we kind of lost contact. Cool. Next thing I know, she started coming over to the crib on a regular because down the street from where I used to live at was this little internet cafe thing where you can gamble and shit. And her grandma was a big gambler. So her grandma she'll get her to drive her way on the south side for her to gamble. But the funny thing was she would sometimes sit in there with her grandma, and her grandma would take her money and burn it up and blow it fucking around losing and shit. So when she ended up coming to my crib one day because she was down the street. So I told her, I'm right down in apartments. Y'all pass. So, she pulled up. Cool. My little cousin, free heart of the streets, real nigga, stand up nigga, my little brother, he'll be home soon. Cuz chilling, cuz had a situation going on I was able to help him out with. So we there. Cool, no problem. So this particular Sunday, and shout out to my cousin Rob Zombie, shit, you know what it is, Boardwalk Empire, every Sunday, 9 o'clock, HBO, you know what it is, that was our shit, that was our show. We fuck with Boardwalk Empire, Nucky Thompson, Chalky White, the Lucky Luciano, Maya Lansky, Al Capone. You need to check that series out, man. If you never seen Boardwalk Empire, I'm telling you, that's that shit. Like, it show you about prohibition. It show you about how the legal shit white folks do. No disrespect to any whites out there, but it's just the reality. Behind every great fortune is a great crime. Always remember that. Always remember that. Because at the end of the day, that's how these families got wealthy. They had to do something illegal and clean their money up to be legitimate. And that's all they did. But when other ethnicities try that shit, especially us as people, it get demonized and that shit go downhill from there. So this Sunday I'm watching Boardwalk Empire. That's my show. Like, I go in my room, I'm like, man, I tune everything out. Me and Cuz was actually having a pre-episode conversation. Like, we was like so excited about the new episode that was coming out on that Sunday. So, mind you, I ain't called this woman over here for no pussy. I ain't asked this woman for no pussy. I just was chilling. I wasn't into no like lusting or nothing like that. So she comes in my room because her and little cuz out there blowing. They smoking their herb or cigarettes or whatever she call them. So I'm chilling. I ain't got nothing to, I'm minding my business. So she come in the room and, this and that. I'm wet. I'm sitting there like, okay, well, why you telling me that shit? Cause this my show on. Like, I'm really kind of irritated the fact that she come and interrupt me while I'm watching my show. So my bonehead ass just go for the dumb shit. So I go head on, and this time we barebacking. Ain't nothing. No, I ain't had none, and I'm thinking that would have shut the conversation down. Well, I ain't got no rubbers, man. I ain't got none. They out. I used to keep an economy pack in that bitch, 12 pack, gold wrapper, and that's what it was. So end up doing the dumb shit anyway. And then she for like a couple months, I ain't hear from her. Then she called me, I'm pregnant. Okay, well, what's up? I don't want it. Now you don't want the baby. Okay, well, I didn't believe in abortions at the time. I really didn't. But As I've grown as a man, I realize you're not supposed to procreate with everybody. That shit ain't what's happening. Cause sometimes that shit fucks the child up, or it fucks the situation up with you and the person. So, you know, she kept with the I want the abortion. I'm like, okay, I got my half. Now me, people, my listeners, if I would have been a smarter man, I would have just paid for the shit and got it over with. But me being stubborn, hard-headed, and a bonehead like I've always been, I'm like, fuck no. I didn't ask for this pussy. I wasn't trying to hit. I didn't call you over here to give me none. I ain't asked for no pussy. You came, so you give me your half, I give you my half. I'm half responsible, you half responsible. This tug of war match went on for like about a month and a half. And then all of a sudden she disappears. I don't hear from her for like 2 years. I'm thinking this shit done got handled because I haven't heard from her. Then I'll get a pop-up message 2 years later that you got your daughter here. So, you know, I pull up because I wasn't living in the city at the time. I had moved. And I came up one day when I usually come. I used to go back and forth from where I used to live with my ex, one of my exes, to back up here. So I get here, pull up on her, this little light-skinned, beautiful little girl. Like, people, when I tell you God blesses us with kids, He really does, and we're responsible for them. We don't always do the best job that we can at times because sometimes circumstances get in the way. But as long as you continue to try and make sure that you do the right thing by them, that's all that matters. So I see this beautiful little girl. It's your daddy. The introduction. So mind you, we was never in a relationship, so the communication was a little bit different. We was friends. We had friendship. We just tried some shit. The shit just basically ended up her being pregnant with a baby that she really didn't want. So as time goes on, like my daughter was number 8 out of her 7 she had. But, you know, I don't judge nobody by what they do. She had 5 from one and 2 from another. So, you know, go figure. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to do my best to try to, you know, look past, like, not saying we had no beef, but she pulled some shit while she was in the missing phase through some of my family. And the word got back to me. But it was just to try to lure me out, to get me, to talk. Because we didn't talk. Remember, people, she left, disappeared for 2 years. But in the midst of that time of her being pregnant, you know, she could have talked to me like a woman. She didn't. She played the little girl game with me by, you know, sneak dissing and hating and shit. So how do we go from a friendship, get a baby, and then turn around and now we rap beefing? So, you know, you try to do your best to be, like what they say, the bigger person, or turn the other cheek, or take the high road. But sometimes it's not easy to do that. Shit, we human. Like, I get irate and mad a lot because I don't understand, like, how is it hard for you to communicate with me? And communication is the biggest problem that a lot of us have when it comes to men and women. We don't know how to talk. Some people try to talk reckless to you. I'm the one who ain't with that shit. You're not finna talk to me crazy. But this is the type of situation I had. Now, when I first met this young lady, we was friends, remember? Listeners, subscribers, we was friends. So when I used to listen to her talk to her kids, I couldn't understand the dialogue and the dialect that she used, because I'm not used to a woman cussing at her kids and talking crazy to her kids. I grew up as a foster kid. I grew up as, you know, my mother was abusive as a baby. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I didn't understand that because I was that kid. So it didn't register to me. So I had to give her some advice. Like, you need to talk to them like they people. Don't talk to them like they just something that's here. And when she tried it, it actually started working. But, you know, her mindset is fucked up. You know, it really is fucked up. So at the end of the day, you know, we got this little girl, but we beef all the time. But why can't we just get along? Why can't we all just get along? That, like I said, the topic of this podcast this morning. Why can't we all just get along? I don't go out my way to try to, fuck nobody over, get into no shit. I don't like arguing. I don't like the dumb shit. The shit just stupid to me. It gets nothing resolved and nobody wins. So, like I say, I try my best to be okay, let me overlook that. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. But then when you continually try a nigga, and you continually like play with a nigga feelings, or not say feelings like caring or loving feelings, but play with a nigga feelings when it comes to his kids. Like you don't let me see my daughter sometimes. The bullshit. Like that's what I be trying to understand about having kids and even relationships. My little boy, same scenario. I don't know what it is about me and women in sneaker stores or what the fuck ever, but that's just what it was. His mama work at a sneaker store till to this day. Shout out to Money Man. Shout out to Princess Karma. My babies, I love y'all. Even though the way y'all got here wasn't planned or wasn't the way Daddy wanted it to be, but I wouldn't trade y'all in for the world. And I'm glad I didn't go through with this abortion. I'm glad she didn't go through with the abortion, because I wouldn't have this beautiful 8-year-old little girl who we finna celebrate her birthday in July. I wouldn't. Like, she's like everything. We talked on the phone last night on video chat. She loved her daddy. Like, it's just amazing. Like, to see that smile when she see me or when she talk to me, to hear it in her voice and her excitement, and just, Daddy, guess what? And telling me about stuff that happened in school and the girl bullying her, and I'm telling her punch the little girl in her shit and fuck the school, and if them people got something to say, have them call me, because I'm with all that dumb shit about fucking with my children. And so it's just amazing that I could have ended up not having her in my life if me and her mama would have got through. And I think that's God's way of like letting her come here, because I didn't believe in abortion, but I was like, fuck it, like shit, we can go ahead and rock like that, because we didn't have no ties that bind like that. We wasn't close. Like, we was friends, and I thought we was real good friends, because we talked about a lot of things. And for it to end up the baby causing the friction was crazy to me. But like with my son mama, same scenario. She work at a sneaker store. I go in there, I'm buying for my kids, I'm buying for children that ain't my kids, but that's just the man I am. So I don't know what it is about these shoe women that work at shoe stores. They're very aggressive. They really like to, like, they know what they want. Shit, they go on that ass. They on your ass. Like, I think my son mama is an animal. Shit, that is crazy as fuck. But it is what it is. So we ended up being, like I said, we was friends. Like, she knew I would come around to the shoe store, get stuff, bring my kids sometimes, go shop for all my kids. Now, at this time, I got Princess, No Money Man, Throwback Youngin, Princess Lisa, and, I thought I had 2 little girls in Daytona, but kind of found out they're not mine. But it is what it is. It's life, What you do in the dark will come to the light. So we end up being cool. Like, I pull up around at her mama and them house. Her mama and her sister live together. It was like a little townhouse. So, I guess she liked me to a certain extent, I guess. Or she just felt like I had money. I don't know what the initial situation was. I just know, she was a cool person. So time go on. She definitely like I ain't gonna lie to people, I got raped. Yeah, they say men can't get raped, but yeah you can. Yeah, you can. But anyway, it's like, so one night, I'm over there. She really trying to like get a nigga to be on her. But I'm like cooling, because I just got out this bad relationship I was in for almost 2 years. It was one of the worst experiences in my life. I can't say. Like, a lot of things went on. I almost caught some time. I shot at somebody. All because they, her dealing with a situation, and at the end of the day, she was drunk at the time and got in her emotions and was trying to fight a man, and I'm trying to break it up. I wanted it to be peaceful. The man kept talking shit.